Yes, my friends, welcome back to my video once again. Today we've reached the third episode of World War I, thankfully. Let's continue from where we left off. This war was truly unlike any of the previous ones. Ah yes, speaking of war, we have an ongoing one. Unexpectedly, the Russians arrived at the border early, which surprised the Germans. However, the Germans didn't have any troops to send there. How is this even possible? They were so slow, I was about to take over Russia, and now suddenly they're here. What's going on? Fool. But a few days later, the Austro-Hungarian Empire was like, the Germans are going to kill me. Austria-Hungary was causing significant harm to the Central Powers. They weren't a very experienced state when it came to war. Just think about it. They couldn't even handle the small state of Serbia, which was the cause of the war. In the east, it was once again the Germans trying to deal with the Russians, inflicting severe damage on the Russian troops in that region. Germany was truly a country full of surprises. But wait, it's not over yet, sir. In the west, German forces advanced all the way to the outskirts of Paris, and just like in World War II, everyone once again thought the Germans were going to win. But the French had already regrouped, and instead of retreating, chose to die fighting. They managed to push the German troops back. As the Germans tried to move northward, both sides found themselves stuck in a deadlock of trench warfare. So friends, what is trench warfare? It's when two sides are separated by a no-man's land that neither owns but both want to capture. One side would bombard the other relentlessly, severely affecting the soldier's psyche. Then the other side would counterattack, but they wouldn't let them pass. This would go on for weeks. The problem was that neither side gained any ground or achieved success. It got to the point where territorial gains were no longer the objective. So what was the goal? To kill each other. A very sad situation. At the same time, the trenches were filled with diseases, corpses, mud, and everything there was maddening. Eventually, everyone decided this war wouldn't achieve anything. They were just attacking each other to inflict harm and wear the other side down. The British Navy also blocked supplies from reaching the Germans. Despite everything, how was the war going? Of course, it was still ongoing. The nations, who hadn't yet learned their lesson, were even seeking allies. Japan joined the British team, the Allies, and targeted Germany. Later, Italy joined. Italy was initially on the side of the Central Powers, meaning the Germans. But when the Allies said, "We'll give you more land than they will, my friend," Italy switched sides. However, Italy couldn't change the course of the war either. Seeing their enemies growing stronger and forming alliances, Germany and Austria-Hungary also started looking for allies. Who could it be? Who? Ah yes, the crumbling Ottoman Empire in the Middle East. The Ottoman Empire was divided between those who wanted to join the war and those who didn't, as it was already a collapsing state. However, some influential Ottoman figures wanted to join the war, so they bombarded Russian ports and entered the Great War. The Ottomans were far behind Europe in terms of military and technology. But thanks to this charismatic figure, the army began to be modernized with German help. The side most angered and affected by the Ottoman Empire's entry into the war was the British, as the Middle East was a vital source of oil.